Enjoy the three wise men of the outdoors and living legends, Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and the one and only Steve Graff. Take it away, guys.
Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. It is Gary McCoy along with the Ranger Iowa Pro Staffer Steve Graff. The old mud hen Mike Eccles in the house, and the house is completely different today because we are in the midst of Toledo Town and Tackle, down on the banks of Toledo Bend, and we're getting ready for this little bass tournament they got this weekend.
Yeah, we got some people leaving. We just went on the air, and they're pulling up and they're pulling out on us.
Yeah, that's the way it works.
They're going to miss all the entertainment.
You know, when I bought my house, when I moved in, all the for sale signs started going up on the other houses in the neighborhood. It was just terrible. But no, we're hoping that we're going to get to visit with Kirk Carver and some of the touring pros. The Elite Series is here this weekend. The BASS Elite competition will start tomorrow.
Yeah,
and we'll run through Sunday on Toledo Bend. And, you know, it's kind of odd in that you pull into a store like this, and you're thinking that a lot of these guys, you know, they're going to take a few minutes and try to come get them a bite to eat or something like that.
Right.
Until you realize, I mean, this is big money that we're talking about. They're not going to take a lunch break. If they eat a cracker today, that was a big meal for them.
Yeah, that's why all of them look so skinny.
If anybody stops practicing today to be on the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show, they need to have their head examined.
Either they're not on fish,
or they really got on,
or they're really on them.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, this segment brought to you by Commercial Power Equipment, Lake Fork Marina and Motel, Coastal Conservation Association, Wildwood Resort, and the Red River Waterway Commission. Of course, we are live today until 1 o'clock here at Toledo Town and Tackle, and we'll encourage you, if you're anywhere in the neighborhood, stop by, see us. We'll hook you up with some hooking up and tracking down gear. We got some other stuff. We might even make you part of the show today. One of the things that we want to cover was it last weekend?
Yeah.
The Dylan Poche first ever Memorial Fishing Tournament, and they did this for a scholarship that they're putting together, and I'm assuming that the scholarship recipient will probably have to fish on the fishing team, on the Northwestern team?
Yeah, they actually gave 2 scholarships.
Oh, awesome.
And I'll wrap that event up real quick here. They had 82 teams participated, which for such short notice and being on Mother's Day, I thought was a pretty good turnout.
Amen.
Very impressed with what the Poche family has done, and had a lot of volunteers involved with this, and everybody just did a great job. They raised over $8,000.
Wow.
$8,000.
Wow.
Over with just 82 teams. And kudos to some of the Bass Champ guys. I was really impressed. A lot of those guys really wanted to stay over and fish it from Saturday, but it's Mother's Day, and a lot of them didn't want to get in the doghouse.
Mm-hmm.
So they donated $100. You know, a lot of teams came by and just gave them a $100 bill. Here's $100. I'm gonna fish it next year.
Yeah.
And next year the event will be Saturday, March the 25th. It's already scheduled. They've got the boat ramp locked down. Cypress Bend Resort there will be the location for that event once again. And and real quick, we'll kind of go over the winners. First place was Austin Atkins and Chase Atkins from Lufkin, Texas. They had 20.06 pounds. They won $1,435 plus some really nice plaques and trophies. I was really impressed.
They didn't win squat. I guarantee Mama got all that money.
Probably did.
Okay,
Our dad.
thank you. Yeah.
And second place was $820. Chris Smith and Chris Brogler. $19.39 was their weight. Third place was Joseph Schaefer and Joseph Beinog. I think they're from Provençal, Louisiana. They had 19.08 pounds. Justin Glover, Philip Lee came in fourth with 18.52, and Damon Clemens and Caleb Summerall had 17.24 for fifth. Just a great turn. They played the top 15 places, and so a lot of people. Plus, guys, the giveaways, I'm telling you, they had more just raffle drawings and cupcakes. I bet there was 50 flats of cupcakes that they gave away.
I've been there.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm telling you.
Mike would have went just for the cupcakes.
Now, was this just for the high school teams, or was this an open
No,
tournament?
it was an open event.
Yeah.
Anybody
Okay.
could fish it.
Okay.
And there was a lot of variation, father-daughters, grandpa, dads. I mean, it was just a really great event. And
you know, I don't know if we went on enough about kudos to the Poche family. I read something this morning that I thought was just huge. It says we cannot stop the waves, but we can learn to surf. And I want you to think about...
That's deep.
Yeah. We
That's
cannot
deep
stop
for
the
our show.
waves, but we can learn to surf. And I want you to think about this. That family's still grieving.
Oh, no doubt. No
And,
doubt.
I mean, they lost their son, they lost their cousin, they lost their nephew, their grandson.
Well,
and, I mean, the amount of grief and they're filling that with something really, really positive.
and meaningful. That
Yeah.
will be meaningful for years to
They've
come.
learned to surf.
Yeah, they're not going to forget Dylan, and which you wouldn't forget your son, but his name will be synonymous from now on with Northwestern State bass fishing.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. And the two recipients of the scholarships were both were from Natchitoches Central, two of his best friends, be honest with you. But that's not why they won the scholarship. They had to actually write an essay. They had like 10 or 12 applicants apply for the scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up making it 2 scholarships. Brenton Lester and Nicholas Wiggins, both of Natchitoches Central, won the first 2 scholarships.
That's awesome.
It is awesome, and it's just a great opportunity for both these young men to further their education. And it's just going to get bigger and bigger. And, people thought $8,000, well, what's that money? Northwestern State fishing team, just like any other college team, is self-funded by the anglers.
You bet.
They're not. Northwestern State's not chipping
They're making
in
their own boat notes.
$10,000 and say, hey, y'all go
Insurance,
fish.
yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
these kids are covering their own everything. So that's just going to get bigger and bigger. I'm really excited for them. And Big Bass was Damon Clemens and Caleb Summerall, 9.84. Had 2 over 9 weighed in, guys.
Oh, wow.
2 over 9 weighed
Good
in.
fish.
So, but anyway.
Also, this past weekend, I showed up.
Too bad you didn't show out.
Yeah, I showed up for the Boss Tournament Trail final qualifier tournament on Lake Bistineau. That's where I went, was to Lake Bistineau, but it was actually a scramble tournament. You could fish any of the lakes that were on the list: Cross, Caddo, Lake Bistineau,
Black Lake,
or
Red River.
Did anybody fish Red River?
Yes, Bradley Virgilito went to Red River and came in 5th place, had 17.63.
Way to go!
Yeah.
So they braved it. They braved it all in the middle of that, and were still able to come out on top.
Yeah,
wow. Yeah, that's huge.
I tried to tell you to go there.
I know.
Hats off to the winner, Kevin McGowan and Brent Stewart. They had a 20.92, and they won $4,200. Jeff Pate, Eddie Shaw had 20.36. They won $2,100. Bo Hanley and Joe Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yeah, 1974 for $1,400. Earl Glass Marquet, 1883 for $1,100. Then Landon Kennington, Bradley Virgilito had 1763 for $900. We paid out over $20,000, I think. Back.
You paid out more than you took in.
That's about I think it was 107, 108% payback.
That's awesome.
Thanks to the sponsors. And David Brown, 747, won $500 from Gator Tail Big Bass. He had he had a 7.47 and took home a Big Bass check. We had 102 teams. That's our last term for the year. We figured it up last night finally. 98 teams qualified for the championship.
Oh, wow.
Which will be held June 4th and 5th on Lake Bistineau.
Yep.
2-day championship. So you can go on the Bayou Outdoors website, go to the Boss section, and look up the...
Do you have to register if you're qualified?
Yes.
Okay.
You've got to enter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to...
Entry fee is $180 like the rest of them.
Okay.
And we'll be giving away 2 Ranger boats at that event.
Gotcha.
And I think I figured it up this morning, ballpark idea, somewhere around $17,000 $17,000 cash and prizes.
Now, Mike, are you going to do what you've done in the past, like after day one?
No, it's totally different.
No, we divide the field in half now after the 4th tournament. Right now, how you finish for the year.
Oh, okay.
Look on there, teams 1 through 49, because we had 98 qualify. Excuse me, 1 through 49 will be fishing for the bigger Ranger.
Okay.
50 through 98 will be fishing for the smaller Ranger.
That's a good deal, man.
Oh,
you still got a shot.
I'm fishing for a little Ranger, baby.
Hey,
I'm in.
Right.
Hey. You know what? Mike and I talked all the way up here, and it's amazing. The field out there, you hear some of the touring pros, and I'm hoping that we'll get to visit with some of the Elite Series guys as the day progresses, because, like I said, we are live today, Toledo Town and Tackle, right here, just east of the Pendleton Bridge.
Yeah, packed house.
Corner of 191-6 and Highway 6. But one of the things that you anytime you get to visit one of these guys, they'll tell you, 20 years ago, there were probably 10, 12 guys who could have won at just about every tournament where they went. Right. Nowadays, you got a field here of 50, 60, 90, 98 teams that are at any point capable of pulling one off and winning.
Well, and when you get into the championship, the way it played out this year, 2 different brackets fishing for 2 different boats.
It's 2 tournaments at once.
It is, and it's a mixed bag. We got some really good anglers that didn't do great this year that finished on the bottom half, and we got some guys that don't normally finish at the top that are in the top. Yeah. So, like I said, it's going to be a slugfest down there for 2 days on Lake Bistineau.
Where's the launch? State Park?
No, we will be out of Grice's. It will be a trailer tournament.
Okay.
But the weigh-in will be at Grice's down at Spillway. We did that for a logistics reason.
Okay. So weigh-in at Grice's, but you will be able to trailer, and then you're going to get us all the rest of the information between now and then. It'll
be on the newsletter. Didn't put it out today. We don't have all the times and stuff. But the most important thing you need to know is, first, you do need to go by and enter.
Yeah.
Second off, we do have a 5-day off-limit period. Monday through Friday, before the event, it will be off-limits, which means it will be off-limits to you getting information also from
non-anglers,
non-competitors in the tournament.
And we're going to talk about these kind of rules here today, guys.
That was a segue.
Yeah, exactly. That's something we're going to get to today. But, Mike, just out of curiosity, where did the majority of the field last week, where did they go?
The majority of the field did go to Bistineau because it was actually Cross Lake was the most stable lake. It was there was no concerns about fishing Cross Lake. Lake Bistineau, we were bordering on whether it was going to get high enough to go to the idle only, but it didn't.
It didn't.
Caddo Lake was just high enough that people didn't feel comfortable. There were some teams went to Caddo Lake.
Yeah.
Second place came, and there was a number of people went to Black Lake.
Okay.
And were able to fish there. Jeff Payton, Eddie Shaw came in second down there. But the people on Bistineau, there was rumors again, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was all BS. That they was idle only on Caddo, but I'm 99% sure that was not true.
Right.
That was just fishermen putting out rumors, trying to keep people from
coming
down there
and
fishing. But it was high enough that a lot of people didn't feel comfortable getting out there and trying to run because some of the channel markers were underwater.
Right.
So,
right.
Real quickly before we take a break. Something that I also want to mention. We kudos to a lot of our area kids that are right now en route. They are headed towards Louisville, Kentucky. This weekend, the National Archery in the Schools program, the NASP, is going to be held in Louisville. And like I say, we got a ton of kids, local kids, that are headed that direction.
Benton dominated it last
year.
Dominated.
Well, this is the national championships, and they know. I know for a fact that as of April the 15th, they already had over 1,000 kids registered for this. And good luck to the Thomas kids, Trevor and Haley Thomas, headed that direction. This is huge, and like you said, Benton is always well represented.
Yeah.
Houghton well represented. You've got a number of kids that could be bringing home national championships. Yeah. Shooting a stick in a bow.
Exactly.
And at a time in the country when people are trying to take our guns away and make it look like hunting is a bad sport. It's incredible to see something like the school archery programs growing the way they are.
Amen.
And
Amen.
What a great sport to get into. I mean, and it's not that expensive to get started in it.
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah.
When was the last time you bought a bow?
Well, the schools, they all shoot.
I know.
Right. I mean, compared to golf clubs and
tournament fishing.
Oh my God! Yeah,
which is dirt cheap, lady.
Yeah, those bass weigh they cost $189 a pound.
Oh, you'll never get that.
Okay, we are live today, Toledo Town and Tackle, getting ready for the Elite Series down here on Toledo Bend. We'll be here until 1 o'clock this afternoon. You stop by, come see us. We'll hook you up with a hooking up, tracking down hat. You never know what else Uncle Steve's got in the old prize bag over there.
Yeah, we got some baits we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Hey, hooking up and tracking down, 11:30, the Tiger.
I may look like a city slicker, shining up through the shoe. Underneath
Good.
This segment presented by Handyman Pet Lodge, Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, Toledo Fiberglass, and Daiwa Rods and Reels, where technology and fishing all come together. Now back to the best show on radio with Steve Graff, Gary McCoy, and Mike Eccles.
Yeah, named the best bass lake in America for 2015 by Bassmaster Magazine, Toledo Bend Lake Country would like to invite you to come spend a little time with them and enjoy not only great fishing, but some of the best state parks and recreational facilities anywhere. Come see why so many people have decided to make Toledo Bend their home away from home. Go to ToledoBendLakeCountry.com for more information. Toledo Bend, it's truly heaven on earth.
Hey, thanks a lot for hanging out with us. It's Gary, Steve, and Mike live today, Toledo Town and Tackle, getting ready for the big Elite Series tournament. Competition begins tomorrow. We'll run through Sunday. Run through real quickly, if you can remember, Steve. How do they? What's the breakdown on that? I mean, is there a cutoff after 2 days?
After the third day, they cut to the top 10.
After the third day, they cut to the so on Sunday only the top 10 anglers are back out.
Go out.
They don't cut it on after second day.
I don't think so.
Okay.
If they do, it's the top 50.
All right, now here's where I'm at. How many competing anglers will be here for the next 4 days?
I would say 100 plus.
Okay, so you got 100 plus. Percentage-wise of that 100 plus, how many will venture north of the Pendleton Bridge?
I'm going to say only 20 to 25% of the field will go north.
Okay, I was just wondering, and how far north? Would you say if you were from Bison's north, would you see an elite angler?
Possibility.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know as far north as we fished,
yeah,
there's still fish up there.
Yeah, but we didn't go as far north as Bison's.
But buddy of mine fished just south of Converse and caught fish in the bushes.
So there's still fish in the bushes right now.
Still in the bushes. Here's, I was talking to one of the guys a while ago. My thinking right now is on this event, if you want to make the cut, you can probably go to the bushes and maybe make the cut.
But you're probably not going to win it.
If you're going to win it, you better have this puppy right here tied on, and you better be out in the open lake.
Okay.
Because that's what's winning tournaments right here.
For our TV viewers, in the event that you've never seen one of these.
And they don't sponsor the show.
Yeah, they do. This is the Strike King Extra Deep. It's the 8XD. They cost you a shoulder.
Yeah, and a leg.
Yeah, no, just a shoulder.
Well, the 10X will cost you arm and a leg.
Now you can buy this one here at Toledo Town for $12.99, which is a great price.
That's really not bad.
That's a great price. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's like throwing the car door off an Edsel and pulling it all day.
Yeah.
My old buddies, honestly, who I used to run around with, and we pulled a mud bug all day long. Mud bug ain't got squat on that.
No, I agree.
I'll bet you somebody makes a cut fishing Tennehoff.
That far north?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it wouldn't, especially if they're in the bushes up there.
Yep.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, this time of the year, if the water's up there, the fish should be in the bushes in that particular area.
Here's what I found last week when I came over here and went to some of the same stuff that me and you fished, and I went to some new stuff and actually found some more fish in some different areas. Again, they weren't on the edge. You had to get back up in there because the water was still coming up.
Yeah.
If the water's starting to fall back
They'll
down,
pull out.
They're going to pull out to the edge.
And when they do that, if you've ever fished South Louisiana,
yeah,
and like Mike and I, when you fish South Louisiana in the fall and the water starts falling out of that roseoak cane, dude, it is on. And the same thing happens here, just like you're saying.
I tell you another bait. They do sponsor the show, and I looked at the rack a while ago. They are almost out completely of the Santone M series, which is the Matt Herring series of spinnerbaits. They are completely out of these, and they're out of the Pretender series. And I looked at other spinnerbaits over there that are still on the rack.
Yeah.
Santone's selling out of their spinnerbaits over here. They're
Why?
Very
What's the difference?
I don't know. Is it quality? Is it
better spinnerbait?
Better
Simple as that.
spinnerbait? Yeah,
Santone.
better skirt colors.
Can't believe you stumbled over that.
There's so many different variations to a spinnerbait. Where do you look?
Okay.
Hardware.
Now I'm holding now, and our camera people can see this, but I'm holding right now what I just started reading an article that the Bass Times had put out last month, or maybe the BASS magazine, the Whopper Plopper, and they say it is right now causing one of the biggest waves of excitement out there in the world. And I talked to a buddy of mine in Bayou Outdoor the other day, and he
That's
said,
the topwater bait I was telling you about on
Yes.
the way down here.
They say right now that son of a gun will catch a fish. Why? What's different about that?
I don't know.
What's different?
I've thrown it on 3 different lakes and hadn't had a bite.
Didn't have a bite.
But this is probably the latest topwater bite season that you can ever
Without
remember.
a doubt, right. All right, you got a Spro bait.
Here's the Spro BBZ1 Rat 30. And this will be leaving here with me because it's the only one left on the rack. I have the bigger version of this, and I've wanted the smaller one. They came out with a big one last year.
And it's jointed.
I've got
This
the
is
small
a
version
fish
and didn't want the bigger one.
guaranteed to make your angler happy.
Yeah.
Just stop there. So, and you can even change the tail out on the rat. They have tail
Nothing like
that.
a change in tail every now and then.
It's versatile.
Yeah, when you got the smaller one.
You put the extension on it.
We can't have a decent show. And then here's a bait that I think will be a player here. Gary knows about these.
Oh.
He actually had the opportunity to throw one of these. The Spro Aruka Shad.
Yeah.
It will be a player here this week, I think, in this event because the shad spawn is on.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you this question because I was in the boat with you, and I can testify that there was a difference.
Yes, there is a difference.
Now, rest assured, there's nobody in the world thrown a rattle trap more than I have.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people have thrown it as much, but there's nobody who's thrown one more.
Right.
Side by side, essentially the same colors, early part of the year, state fair tournament. Graf is throwing the Spro Aruka Shad. I'm throwing a rattle trap. He's had 3 fish in the boat. I have yet to have a bite. Why? Why is that?
I think
What's different?
I think it's the sound chamber, and I really think their reflective patterns that they have on their baits are really match the hatch, so to speak. I really think they make a great match the hatch type bait, and the shad spawn is on right now.
Yeah.
And this bait right here will be a player. This is the Spooky Shad right here, and it is just like some of the thread fins that are on this lake right now. This bait right here will
Okay,
catch
question
this week.
for you. Is there enough of a shad spawn? I mean, if the gizzard shad happen to be spawning, will a swim bait come into the play? What do you think?
I think it will.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if they got a good windy day, obviously on the south end of the lake you got, real good water clarity, generally.
I think there'll be more fish caught on swim bait down here than on the hard plastic.
Really?
Yeah.
All right,
And
now
Mike could be right there.
Now compare this now, if you will. Okay, if you're in a position to where you've got to make a choice, you're going to go soft plastic. You're throwing it into the bushes, and you're going to really try to maximize the areas that you can do that. Are you going to take advantage of your practice time doing that, or are you going to look for a deep water pattern on the south end of the lake and possibly get blown off? That's the problem with getting on one of the big humps out on the south end of the lake is all of a sudden I'm telling you a 20-mile-an-hour wind and your day's done.
We've had 2 bad wind days previously, yesterday and day before.
Yeah.
The odds of having 4 days where you can fish the middle of Toledo Bend are almost non-existent.
Right.
So you better have something to fall back on.
So if you were a guy who's out there doing his practicing right now, you'd look for some bushfish and you'd look for that deep water pattern. Or you'd look for something that maybe a creek swing or something like that on the interior to where you're knocking that southwest wind off of you.
I bet you there's going to be a number of fish caught in the haygrass, eelgrass. That's where the fish have moved back to post spawn.
Yeah.
Have moved back to.
If anybody's listening right now, and you remember back in the old days, in the old ALBC tournaments, when we had the top 6 tournament that used to be out of San Miguel, one of the biggest patterns
that
out
are
there,
normally held first weekend of May.
Yeah. Generally back then, the bass would have moved into the eelgrass. And we used to have, you remember the electric blue rattle trap?
Yeah.
They would annihilate that electric blue rattle trap in that eelgrass. I haven't seen much. Graf and I spent a lot of time down here in the last few weeks, and I hadn't seen much eelgrass out there. But this haygrass pattern that they're talking about really is essentially the same thing. It just grows in a lot deeper water.
Yeah, and it's on the hay. Most of the good haygrass is out on the main lake points.
Right. Where the
And
fish want to be
and
right
that's
now
where
anyway.
The fish are pulled back out to, especially the big females.
Yeah.
There may be a punch bite going on this weekend as well.
Well, I just my son Buddy texted this to me a few minutes ago, and I had not read this before he sent it to me.
While you're looking that up, I got the Wind Alert app, and starting tomorrow, wind will blow 12 to 15. Then it goes into Friday, 8 to 9 out of the north-northeast, and then it goes into Saturday out of the south-southeast, and it never gets over 7-8 miles per hour on Saturday. And then the final day, Sunday, it picks back up Sunday, 15 to 20 by 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So morning bite is going to be okay, but after lunch, the wind's going to start to pick up.
So you better have your sack if you're fishing that deep water bite.
Yeah, you're going to be main lake guy.
Yeah.
So,
well, listen to this. My son Buddy sent this to me. It was in I guess the most recent issue of the Louisiana Sportsman, and a father and a son teamed up for a 5-fish stringer down here on Toledo Bend. Weighed 42.97 pounds. They caught they had one right under 10, another right over 10. They had an 8-pounder in that bunch, and it was just an unbelievable day according to the two of them. And, that's the kind of stuff that can happen here. I mean, you just never know when you're going to stumble into that glory land, that honey hole, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, you've made 5 casts and you weigh 28, 30 pounds.
I had the opportunity yesterday to visit with Tommy Martin, the Toledo Bend legend over here, and he is actually guiding this morning, and then he is headed for another body of water after noon today to Sam Rayburn. I asked Tommy, his predictions. He said 75 to 78 pounds he thought would win it. If the wind lays, it'll take 80-plus because the main lake guys, if they can stay on that main lake and catch those bigger fish, there'll be some 20. It may take 20 pounds a day to win it.
Well, it looks to me like, according to what you were showing me, Friday, Saturday is perfect for that type of
Friday
fishing.
and Saturday.
Yeah,
they're going to be fine.
All right, sit tight, and if you're in the area, come by and visit with us. We'll get you hooked up with a hooking up and tracking down baseball cap. We got some other cool stuff for you. We are live today, Toledo Town and Tackle, right here at the intersection of Highway 6 and Highway 191, just outside of Manny, near the Pendleton Bridge. It's hooking up and tracking down, 11:30, the Tiger.
Welcome back to segment 3, presented by Nichols Department Stores, J&J Exterminating, and Stephen Johnston Guide Service, the best guide on Toledo Bend. Now back to the boys of HUTD Radio. It's Gary, Steve, and Mike.
Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. We are hooking up and tracking down. You want to make sure you check us out on our Facebook page. That's hooking up and tracking down. Of course, the website, HUTD.net. And, while you're on our Facebook page, I think, a few more viewings, I think I will have the art of throwing the cast net down.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, man. If you want to be educated.
Have you seen that? Oh, yeah. You got to go to our Facebook page.
You haven't seen that, Mike?
Dude, I'm just telling you, you will have never in your life wanted to do anything more than learn how to throw a cast net.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah.
Oh, when you see this video, that'll be your goal.
That's not true.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care because I tried to learn one time.
No. You have not seen this video.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care how naked she is.
And
some guys got me out in the back of the fire station one time, showed me how to throw a cast net.
Yeah.
Barry Lewis and them,
yeah.
and they, they bunched it up and they put it in their mouth and I remembered every part of it, every step.
Except let go.
Except let open in my mouth.
Those lead weights hit the end of that.
I thought I'd been kicked in the face by a mule.
Yeah, he was almost toothless.
You've got to open your mouth when you throw that net.
Hey, we'll get to our Iowa hot topic of the week here in just a minute. First, though, a quick word from Paul's Farm and Garden.
For all your food plot and gardening needs, Paul's Farm and Garden will make sure you have what you need to grow anything and everything. Need feed advice for your livestock? As a certified Purina dealer, Paul's staff is trained and can answer any and all your feed-related questions. Located at 1300 North Market in Shreveport, Paul's Farm and Garden will make sure all your customer needs are met with courtesy and respect. Go to paulsfarmandgarden.com for more information on the best feed store in Shreveport-Bossier. And by the way, Stephen Johnson's out this week. He won't be on there, nor will Johnny Geis. We won't have we'll catch up with both those guys again next week. And Johnny's at the doctor this morning, so I don't know.
Our prayers with him.
Well, I think it's just a checkup.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. One of the things that I got to bring up right now is the reason why I mentioned our Facebook page. If you're on there, it's all a joke. It's in fun. But Graf, I didn't realize Graf had this kind of wit within him. But he did a wrap up of the Boss Tournament Trail Scramble last weekend, and he noticed that you had a picture, Eccles, of a guy. Somebody was standing behind a guy holding.
We got to give credit to Eccles.
Oh, okay. Was this all Eccles' idea?
It's Eccles' idea.
Okay, then
now I'm the girl. I'm the girl.
I should have known. Okay.
If it was funny, it wasn't Graf.
Okay.
Except for his waist slip.
Thanks a lot, Gary.
There's a guy that's standing there, and somebody's behind him, and they're holding 5 fish, and he says this angler has been DQ'd because he's fishing with 4 arms, which is obviously a disadvantage to the other fishermen. Well, the long and short is, it is.
Well, Mike posted
it's
it.
Funny.
I posted it once. He posted it once.
It's funny till somebody really gets DQ'd.
Right, exactly.
It's all fun and games.
Yeah, right.
Until you're looking at the Elite Series Rule C3, and you realize, uh-oh.
Yeah, we got a problem.
I got to go to the house.
Houston, we have a problem.
My day is over. Yeah. And if you're wondering what in the world we're talking about, of course, in the previous tournament, where was that, Lake Wheeler?
Lake Wheeler.
Luke Clausen was disqualified for a violation, which they discovered while he was doing a random polygraph. They discovered that.
And let's clear that up. I found out why it was random and how they do the random polygraph, which we kind of were thinking somebody turned him in.
Yeah.
We were
thinking
thinking devious thoughts. And Matt Herring confirmed, no. He said, I can explain how he was picked. He said, every tournament, they come out on the boat dock when the boats start coming in with a bag full of chips. Boat numbers are on the chips, and they ask one angler to reach in there and grab one out, and that's how they select. Well, Matt Herring happened to be the guy they asked that day, would you reach in and pull a chip out? It was 14, and it matched up to Luke Claus, and that's why he was selected.
Okay.
It was a random deal. It was truly random.
But we don't know if that bag was full of 14s.
Well, now you're getting into my secret.
Okay. Anyway, during the random polygraph, it was determined that Luke had violated Rule C3. Now, I want to make sure. I want to talk to the tournament director within us, Eccles. he was disqualified from the tournament from a rule violation. He was not cheating.
He was not cheating. No.
No. And a lot of people, confuse those two. He was not cheating. He violated a rule in their estimation. Now, he appealed. His appeal was overruled, but he was not cheating.
Right. There's a difference.
Exactly. And I need for a lot of people to understand that. And that rule C3 reads, during the off-limits periods, other than using publicly available information, which includes newspaper, internet reports, competitors cannot solicit, receive, or gather any information via phone, electronic devices, or any other means about locating or catching fish on tournament waters. There shall be no exceptions. All information must be opened or accessed prior to official off-limits periods, no exception. During practice and competition, anglers cannot solicit, receive, or gather any information from anyone other than another competitor in the tournament, no exceptions. Now, that's the rub for us.
Yeah.
But apparently what happened here after, correct me if I'm wrong, or just don't say anything, Luke Clausen did not have a good first day.
That's true.
And that evening, sitting with a friend who maybe was out on the water, camera boat, observer or something, said, well, I saw the top 5 places, something fishing the Bobo Hole.
Yeah.
And they're fishing a purple people eater.
Yeah. And the next day, which happens. Somebody can say something, even if you know you're not supposed to receive information. A lot of times you can't stop people from talking.
Right.
But apparently Luke Clausen went out the next day and fished the Bobo Hole, or whatever
with
it
a
was,
purple people eater.
and came in with a good sack.
And that's the key, Mike. He acted upon the information he had received. Had he not gone and done that, and just gone and done his normal thing, he probably this would never have even been an
Now,
issue.
in defense of this topic,
okay,
because we're, the question that we've posed, which is our Daiwa Hot Topic of the Week, is the Elite Series Rule C3 too broad and complicated, okay? Now, here's the defense of that. Nowhere in here does it say you cannot act on the information.
Yeah.
Does not say that.
Right.
What it says is that you cannot solicit, receive, or gather any information. How do you prevent receiving information?
Right.
You're fishing along. You're in San Miguel over here. There's 9 million boathouses down through there. You're fishing, and all of a sudden, Joe Bob walks out to the end of the pier and says, hey, there's a Christmas tree right over here. I caught a 9-pounder off of it yesterday. You just violated the rules, and you haven't done anything. You just received information.
According to Matt Herring, Matt and I, again, we had a lengthy discussion about this. Matt was saying another key to this whole deal is he can go to the internet. He asked me about Toledo Bend, and I said, well, how late can you get information? He said, as long as it's public information. Good example. We had to weigh in at Cypress Bend for the Poche tournament. Well, Keith was not allowed to pull anglers aside one-on-one and talk to them.
Yeah.
Because he's in the tournament. Rick Clun was there. Chapman was there. Poche was there, among some other Elite Series pros, watching the weigh-in. They couldn't go up to an angler and just start talking to them about what they caught, where they caught them.
Yeah.
It has to be public information that, say, is a website or a blog that's public information. Now they can go do that anytime they want during the tournament.
But if you had interviewed the winning anglers on the stage and they gave away the goods, and they said we caught them in 17 foot of water on a
that's probably public information because it's being announced publicly.
But also one of the things that has been known to happen is people issue a blog, leave it on there for 1 minute and take it off.
Yeah.
Knowing that I put this blog out there, you're going to read it at straight up 10 o'clock, and I'm going to take it off at 10:01.
Wow.
That has been known. Here's my question.
Nice devious, man.
Wow. Wow.
What was it? Luke Clausen was randomly picked out of how many names?
Probably 100.
Okay. And he was guilty of something.
Yeah.
That's either winning the lottery odds or it's going on a lot.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
wow.
according
Good
to
point.
Keith Poche,
Yeah.
BASS has really, I think they've sent a memo out to all the anglers starting this week. Be careful what you do because we are watching.
Yeah.
Well, my thing on this is BASS needs to take it upon themselves, honestly, to revamp this rule.
Yeah.
Because as you read it, if you're as analytical as I am, as I read it, literally reading it, the minute that Joe Bob walks out on the end of the pier and says, "Hey, I'm catching them on a tequila sunrise culprit worm right over here," well, I'm already. I might as well quit and go to the house. Now, I'm only reading as the rule is written.
I understand.
If the rule is different, if the rule is if I act on that, then that needs to be included in the definition.
Well, and I agree with you because I asked Matt Herron, I said, "Matt, how many times you gone to a tackle store and you're on the same row with 4 other anglers that aren't even in the tournament? They're just local guys. Man, we caught them on Tequila Sunrise yesterday on a big 10-inch worm using a 3/16 all hook, whatever. And you go," he said, "the key, you heard what they caught them on. If you go over and you buy you back Tequila Sunrise worms and you do the same thing they did and you go to the area they talked about," he said, "you violated." He said, "You can still get the information,
but that's not written in this rule."
Yeah, I agree.
And this is a copy of the rules verbatim. That's not in this rule.
Okay.
We need an attorney.
Okay. No, you don't. There's no way in the world, and I've been asked this or told this, there's no way in the world a tournament committee, tournament director can write a set of rules that covers every possible scenario that can come up. You cannot do it. The fact is the guys know they're not supposed to. Whether it says act or receive, but it doesn't say act, that doesn't matter. You're not supposed to be doing it.
Do you think so? You're kind of relying on an honor system.
No, I'm relying on common sense and being responsible for your own actions.
I think that right here it would be so easy to say competitors cannot solicit, receive, and act on any information.
There you go.
That would be so easy.
Yeah.
Bam. Then it's done.
They need to hire you.
Well, of course they do. I mean, you were dumb enough to. They need to be dumb enough to. I mean, you were the same dummy that hired Eccles.
I'm telling you.
What
was I thinking that day?
And his lawyer still questioning
Amen. Hey, we are hooking up and tracking down live today. Toledo Town and Tackle getting ready for the Elite Series competition that starts tomorrow. It's hooking up and tracking down. 11:30, the Tigers.
Every soul that believes him, I reel on in, and he washes away their sin.
Welcome back. This segment presented by Ranger Boats, Toledo Bend Lake Country, Lake Fork Marina and Motel, and Santo and Lures, makers of the M Series of spinner baits and jigs. Once again, here's Gary, Steve, and Mike.
We are live today amidst Toledo Town and Tackle. All the greatest bass anglers from all over the country are converging here on Toledo Bend, getting ready for the Elite Series that will kick off tomorrow and run through Sunday. And, it's the air of professional bass fishermen, that electricity, you can feel it, man. And these guys, it's kind of weird because they've kind of hit some of the worst conditions as far as high winds, a lot of clouds.
Right.
It's just it's not really going to put fish strong on cover, and they're going to be roaming around. So I'm wondering how much really good practice time. They're getting into this last day. And
Well,
you know what?
the thing about Toledo is that you can trailer a lot
Oh,
in
yeah.
practice, so they can get in. They can,
Yeah.
they can find places to go fish. Real quick, I want to wrap up though our Clausen deal.
Yeah.
Just so people will understand, he went from 8th place, DQ'd, to 108th.
Yeah. That cost him a check.
Cost him a lot of money.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Can't angle
it's
the
a big
ear
deal.
points.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Oh, it's a big deal.
And you know what else is a big deal? And I don't know if you did this for Eccles or if there's a subliminal thing, but like I've been saying the whole time, you know, we're here at Toledo
Nothing
Town and Tackle.
sublingual about us.
Well, did you notice that
Or
when we
bilingual.
got here, Eccles and I drove down together. When we got here, Grass got us set up right by all the liquor.
Yeah. That's for me.
And he's the deacon at the church.
Y'all gonna drive me to drinking.
I just want, you know, I mean, we're right here amongst all the Boone's Farm and the Duck
There's
Commander.
Duck Commander wine.
They got Duck Commander wine. And I just, you know,
I was surprised they allowed that.
yeah, I when we sat down, I was like, would you look at this? I mean, we're right here. Any rate,
Why are there so many wines, y'all? What's the deal?
well, it's one of those things. All the whiskey's on the other side. I mean, if you're
That's
gonna
where
drink,
I'm going.
if you're gonna drink,
They still make Strawberry Hill and all that.
I'm sure they
Is
do.
that still out there?
Well, there's Sutter's Home right there.
Sutter's Home.
Okay, let's get a little outdoor outlaw music if we can, Uncle Jay.
All right, who's going first?
Outdoor outlaw.
I'll do this one that I found.
Oh,
right, go
Eccles
ahead,
has got
go
the
ahead,
best
Mike.
one. He wins.
Oh, okay. Well, I found it. Akron, Ohio. This comes from the Midwest. I've never understood why they call that the Midwest. 2 Avon Lake deer poachers were recently convicted in Avon Lake Municipal Court following a joint investigation between the Avon Lake Police Department and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. They were fined, and this is what makes it interesting, a total of $23,857 and forfeited crossbows and antlers to the Ohio Division of Wildlife.
They killed a herd, huh?
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. Adam Petrella, 26, of Avon Lake, was charged with 5 violations related to illegal possession and poaching of white-tailed deer. Sentencing resulted in a total of $8,225 in fine, court costs, and restitution. He was ordered to complete 80 hours of community service. That takes up all your weekend.
No.
So much for fishing.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, but he didn't have to pick up trash on the side of the road like Eccles did.
160 days suspended. That was suspended pending no further violation for 2 years. Ordered to complete a 60-hour community service, forfeit antlers, crossbows to the ODOW, and hunting privileges were revoked for 3 years. That's good.
Good God.
Get him out of there.
Wow.
Now, part of the case revolved around
Man.
2 large bucks illegally
Put it
killed
back.
by the duo, a 17-point. Would you shut up and let me talk? A 17-point back. I'm gonna squirt you with this. 2 large bucks illegally.
Yeah, illegally.
Killed when they shouldn't have been killed.
Yeah.
A 17-point buck killed by
Oh, my God.
Petrella grossed $166, and that cost him like $7,600.
Now tell me, could he
22
have bought that deer for that much at one of these game resort
Yeah,
areas?
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
22 a point buck killed, gross $194, cost him $15,000. That's in restitution, so that's really in about line with what somebody would charge in a high fence.
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
That's what I'm thinking.
That was the value that was instilled
I'm
on
thinking that both these deer, I would bet you, were killed in a high fence.
Probably right.
They came up and shot them through
because it
Tommy
says
Brown's
restitution,
fence. Yes.
so that must have gone to the game owners.
You know, you kill a deer 200 on a high fence is going to cost you between 10 and 15 grand.
Wow. Holy cow.
That's it. That's just restitution. That's
Yeah.
not the penalties, the court costs, loss of.
Well, I mean, when you look at it, he was only about another $500 in fines. You know, because he was $7,687 in restitution. His total was only $8,225. So it only cost him like $500.
This guy's total was $15,000.
Yeah, and see, look,
Yeah.
he paid $15,079 in restitution, so it was $500 and just right at $500.
Well, I'm glad they got caught.
Yeah. Oh, amen.
And I think the loss of their equipment and probably their trucks and stuff. It
Tell
doesn't
me
say
this,
it, but,
though. Honestly, you and I know an individual, the two of us, who has lost his hunting privileges,
That's
and
not
that
me.
didn't stop him from hunting.
Right.
Is that going to stop? Does a lock stop a criminal?
No.
Okay. And now I'm not saying they should get away with it.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that when you've got a situation like that, they need to have their thumbs cut off, their trigger fingers,
but
or
those
something.
160 days of community service, that's going to keep him out of the woods for a while.
Hey, you want somebody paying the price?
Yeah.
But he don't have to worry about that orange vest because he's going to be wearing that orange jumpsuit.
I was going to ask you, have you ever worn an orange jumpsuit, Mike?
yeah.
We got to move on.
It was by request.
You're getting real personal.
It was by request one night.
We got to start another show. We're gonna do this. We got to start another
Charlotte,
show.
let him off the hook for just a minute, okay? He's not telling all y'all's secrets on the radio.
Jeez. Grand Isle commercial fisherman sentenced to 20 years in prison.
Holy cow.
Yeah, you think
from Grand Isle?
That dude paid the price.
I'm headed down towards Grand Isle next weekend.
Rocky Bonham, 44 of Grand Isle commercial fish, was sentenced to 20 years in prison Friday, May 6th, after his sixth conviction of a DWI in Louisiana Department of Wild Fisheries. Sergeant Ezekiel Talbert and Agent Michael Marquise assisted. He was accused by Jefferson Parish prosecutor of colliding his boat into several other watercraft and a shrimp dock in Grand Isle on April 28th of 2015.
My boy was hammered.
Bubba Gump been drinking.
He was under the influence of two other drugs as well as methamphetamine. He was found guilty by a jury on April 20th on his fourth offense, and more DWI and sentenced May 6th by Judge Con Reagan of the 24th District Court to 20 years.
No benefit of probation.
Yeah, no probation, no parole, or suspension of sentence.
Wow.
20 years.
All right, this one happened, I'm assuming, in Texas. Garza County Game Warden Trey Cram received a trespassing complaint from a landowner who observed a group of quail hunters jump his fence. When the landowner confronted them and said that he was going to call the game warden, one of them replied, "Well, go ahead. I know all the game wardens, and I'll be expecting their call."
Don't you know somebody like that?
Yeah.
Was it you?
No. No. But I you know what? Don't you know who I am? That mentality. Anyway.
Do you know my brother-in-law's a judge?
No.
Have you used that line before?
No.
Okay.
No. The minute, if I were to say that, they'd like, well, let's just get him on the phone right now. He'd tell him to put me away. Cram responded, gathered evidence at the scene, and with the help of fellow game warden Drew Spencer, ascertained the names of all four suspects. The subjects confessed to not only the trespass, but to hunting from the road and killing road runners, a protected non-game bird. Case is pending. Okay, we've got these four clowns. I can see them right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you call all the game wardens. We know them all.
Yeah.
Then the game wardens show up, and then you got little Joe Bob over there in the corner, and he was the one that didn't want no part of this to begin with. And he was like, yeah, not only did we jumped that fence, we were out there shooting them off the road. We killed 3 road runners, and I'm going to tell you right now, he's cheating on his wife.
There were 3 words left out of this whole article that summed it up.
What?
Alcohol was involved.
Yeah. Jay, we got time for one more?
No, sir.
We don't.
We got about 3 minutes if you can do that.
Okay, well, then we do, yeah.
Mr. X gets a date with the judge. Travis County Game Warden Jeff Hill checked 3 bank fishermen at low water crossing on Lake Austin and found one individual fishing without a license. When the man was shown a photo taken from over half a mile away of him fishing, he adamantly said it was not him in the photo. When signing the citation promising to appear, he scratched a large, bold X. When asked the reason for the X didn't match his signature on his driver's license, the man said he changed his signature and will now be known as X.
Ain't me. Ain't me. It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Do you know you got to be on something.
X used to be a legal signature and on a document as long as it was witnessed by 2 other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as they didn't both sign with X too. That's true.
Do you know that if we did a survey of all the prisoners in every prison around here, less than 1% are guilty?
Oh, no doubt.
None of them did it.
No doubt.
None of them did it. All right, we are hooking up and tracking down live today. Toledo Town to tackle Highway 6 and 191 just outside of Manning near the Pendleton Bridge. Elite Series coming to town for the next 4 days. If you want to come meet some of these anglers and hang around, maybe get a great bite to eat, you come see us. It's hooking up and tracking down. 11:30. Good night.
She took my heart away.
Welcome back to Hour 2 of the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show, presented by Spro Lures, Cypress Knee Outdoors, Louisiana Charter Boats Association, and Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis, the 2014 and 2015 Lake Fork Guide of the Year. Now back to the boys who may never grow up. It's Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and Steve Graff.
And welcome back to Hour 2 of Hooking Up and Tracking Down. Range Above Pro staffer Steve Graff, along with Boss Tournament Trail Director Mike Eccles and the legend himself, the one and only Gary McCoy. Fresh off a tournament on Bistino.
Yeah, I wish you could have said victory.
Victory. Yeah, one day we're going to have that word in there.
I know. It's coming.
I don't
you know what?
think so, Tim.
That's that's one of the things that we were talking about on the way down, and it's amazing. You get back into tournament angling, after 20 years. And you think you're going to be able to pick up right where you left off 20 years ago. It ain't so, baby. Let me tell you right now, I know for a fact that the anglers that compete in the Boss Tournament Trail, some of the best anglers you'll find in this country, and B, you've talked about some of the youth and some of the unethical behavior that we've seen, with tournament anglers out there. I have yet to see anybody be anything but courteous and compassionate, kind. Maybe they're just, they feel sorry for the old slow kid.
I'm going
like
to say
me.
this for the local anglers that we have all kind of basically grown up fishing around, and guys on Mike's circuit. They are a pretty courteous group overall.
Without a doubt.
They really are. They're very respectful of each other, and plus these guys that you're fishing against have known everybody forever.
Right.
You kind of know what areas of the lake people are even going to before you even leave the ramp. So you just kind of honor those people. And I have to believe, and I'm sure Mike will testify to this as well, that it's really amazing, Mike, that you don't have more issues with as big a circuit as you've got. It really is amazing. You don't have any one-on-one
people like Graff whining about everything.
Little one-on-one confrontations. You think you'd have some of those?
It's good. The atmosphere is good and the attitude is great. You know, you have a run-in occasionally, but you handle it and you move on.
Yeah.
Okay, Eccles is gracing us with more of that sheer humorous.
No, this is legit.
This is facts.
This is real stuff. You didn't make this up.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not.
All right.
This is something that I saw on the internet, and it's basically, do you know enough gun safety to get a firearm certificate?
Oh, if I was applying for one today?
Yes.
Do I know enough?
Concealed permit or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know enough about guns to own one and to handle one?
Yeah, without a doubt.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
And it was a test. Question number 1. Firearm or ammunition caliber refers to what? So just the word caliber refers to what? A, the bullet or barrel diameter, B, the magazine capacity, or C, Caliber means the amount of trouble you would get in when your wife finds out you purchased another gun.
C. A.
I'm going to say A.
Yeah,
It's a bullet or barrel diameter.
Yeah.
Number 2, after ensuring a double-action revolver is pointed in a safe direction, you begin unloading by how? A, looking inside the chamber, B, dropping the cylinder, or C, rapidly pulling the trigger while pointing the gun at your neighbor's cat.
B.
I'm going with B.
B.
B, okay. I like shooting the cat deal.
Yeah.
Number 3, gun safety specialists highly recommend you wear what kind of protection while shooting a gun? A, gloves and a helmet.
Hey, you can buy them in the bathroom here for 75 cents.
B,
Cheapest I've seen anywhere.
B, ear and eye protection. C, boots, gloves, and knee pads. Or D, sunscreen and a Yeti koozie for your beer.
I'm going to go with B.
B.
I like B on that one.
I like some other ones, but...
What kind of weapon would a sniper most likely use? A bolt-action rifle, B, an automatic machine gun, or C, if the sniper was Bruce Jenner, it'd be a thong.
C, stretching it a little bit.
I don't know.
I'm going to go with A.
With Chuck Norris, he could use a pencil.
Yeah. It's A. It's a bolt-action rifle
Amen.
because of accuracy.
Yeah.
Okay, 5. If the incorrect ammo fits into your firearm, it is still safe to shoot.
Oh, amen.
A,
No way.
yes. B, no.
No.
Or C, depending on if you're teaching your mother-in-law to shoot.
Now, which one is it? Is like a one is there's one caliber that you like a 243 will shoot a 556, but
The 6 millimeter.
yeah,
243 is 6
yeah,
millimeter.
but you can't reverse that. There's one that's like that.
Nah,
Okay.
Who cares?
And there's a 38 will shoot another one.
An
I don't-
intruder?
Yeah.
Okay, next question. The difference between a rifle and a shotgun are, A, the inside of a rifle barrel has grooves known as rifling. B, shotguns have longer barrels. C, rifles have a trigger. Or D, shotguns are for people who can't hit crap with a rifle.
I really like D.
A, the inside of a rifle barrel has grooves known as rifling.
Right.
Number 7, always treat a gun, A, as if it is loaded, B, like it is a toy, or C, as if it's something else that may go off in your pants.
We'll better stick with A on that one.
Yeah, I'm thinking so.
Okay, A, as if it's loaded.
Of course, that could apply for C, too.
Yeah.
Okay, number 8, an antique flintlock shotgun with a flared barrel is known as A, a Tommy gun, B, a blunderbuss, or C, Jeff Holder's duck gun because he's too cheap to buy a new one.
That's a blunderbuss.
A blunderbuss,
Yeah,
that's right.
I saw Jeff last night. Hey, Jeff Holder.
Number 9, what lies beyond your target is unimportant when hunting as long as you are sure you can hit whatever you are aiming at. A, true, B, false, or C, depending on if Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama are driving by.
There you go. I definitely like that one.
Okay, it's
really
false.
C.
That's false. Number 10, the first step when cleaning a firearm is A, run a cloth patch with a light coat of gunpowder solvent through the barrel. B, make sure the gun is unloaded. C, wipe the outside with a clean cloth, then apply a light coat of gun oil. Or D, make sure all your fingerprints are removed from the gun.
B.
Okay, that's B. That's
Yeah.
right.
Make sure it's on. You know what? That's one of the things, and I encourage people to do this all the time. When somebody asks you, is the gun loaded, what should your answer be? Every time.
Yes. Yes.
It's
Treat every
unloaded.
gun as if it's loaded.
When somebody takes a gun from you and they say, is it loaded? Say yes.
Yeah.
Because it would be a lot better to be wrong and it didn't have a shell in it than to be wrong and they pull the trigger and somebody next to them is dead.
Yeah. Number 11, in most states it is illegal to lend a handgun to a minor without parental permission.
Oh, really?
Permission.
I didn't know that.
A, is that true?
Oh.
B, false, or C, depending on if the kid hates cats as much as you do.
I would believe that probably is
I would think
possible.
that's true.
That's true.
It is true.
Yeah.
Okay, Number 12, it is illegal for a person convicted of any felony to possess a firearm unless they petition to have their rights granted back by a judge.
Huh.
A, false, B, true, or C, depending on whether you are in this country illegally and swear to vote Democrat across the board.
Can you hit a barn swallow? That's what I wanted to. I would say that's true.
That is true. That's true.
Yeah.
Go true.
Which of the following safety points should you remember when handling a gun? A, never shoot a gun in celebration. B, do not fire at water, flat, or hard surfaces. Or C, if you only wound the neighbor's cat, he may actually live to track up your windshield again. I don't like cats.
Obviously, cats are a nemesis to mice.
No, it's actually the two above, neither one.
Yeah.
Right.
There's more? Yeah, there's more. There, when I'm not out of time, y'all been talking for an hour and 15 minutes. Is the safety feature on most guns 100% reliable? A, yes. B, no. Or C, ask the cat.
No.
No, they're not. What is the most common brand of shotgun? And I left this one in there.
Oh, wow.
A, Pancor, Pancor, or B, Remington?
Wow.
Remington.
I would say Remington.
Have you ever heard of a Pancor shotgun?
No,
I have not.
That's
Okay.
why I said Remington.
Yeah. How are firearms categorized? This is important. How are firearms categorized by the federal government? A, automatic and semi-automatic. B, Title I or Title II. Or C, the ones we don't want law-abiding, patriotic, legal, hard-working, tax-paying, God-fearing conservatives to own.
That's the ones Hillary's after.
Yeah.
I'm going to say automatic and semi-automatic.
It's not. It's Title I or Title II.
I?
Really?
All right, I
That's the
failed.
answer.
I missed the one question.
Last one. When carrying or handling a firearm, where should you point the gun?
Yeah.
A, down towards the ground. B, up towards the sky. C, none of the above. D, all of the above. Or E,
Well, one of them couldn't be all the above because the C's in there.
if Dan Quayle doesn't know, why should you have to know? Actually, all of the above. Either of the above.
Yeah, either of the above.
You're referring to when that guy was down there bird hunting with
And
George
it wasn't
Bush.
Dan Quayle. It wasn't Dan Quayle. It was
I don't remember.
who shot who.
It was one of his cabinet members.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
And I left it blank, and I forgot to look it up.
Always towards the ground.
Who shot who?
That was one of George Bush's cabinet guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know who it was.
Larry Cable
Dick Cheney.
Larry the Cable
It
guy.
was Cheney. It was Dick Cheney.
Cheney,
That's
yeah.
exactly who it was.
Yeah.
Okay. But the answer would be towards the ground.
Yeah. No, it's either one.
Either one.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Do I get a prize?
And Larry the Cable guy's got the best skit about that I've ever heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, tell us.
I can't do it.
Okay, back to our products. We've got the Strike King Deep Diving 8XD.
8XD, 10XD.
I had to save him before we. Hey, that was good stuff. I like that. We are live today, hooking up and tracking down right here on the scene, Toledo Town and Tackle, Highway 6, 191, just outside of Manning near the Pendleton Bridge. And
also, we got some Lucas Oil products, some detailing kits.
Yeah, and this is one of the ones that we talked about earlier in the year.
Gave one away.
Yeah, and this is good stuff. Now, if you're
Tire and trim shine.
Yeah. Well, you need to make sure it's shiny. They got some speed wax.
We got to start previewing even our products we put on.
I'm just, it's Eccles' fault.
I'm telling you, man.
But they've got the Lucas Slick Mist Fast and Easy Speed Wax. And you know what? This is the only way to go.
Oh, ain't no doubt.
Because I'm telling you right now, you spray this on,
Yeah.
and you literally wipe it off,
Yeah.
and you're done. There is no buffing.
No.
There's none of that.
Let it dry and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. There's no waiting around. And you know what? One of the things that you want to do with that is...
That's why Mike liked this, quick and easy.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. You want to make sure when you come off the water, see, don't go there. You're starting it now. You come off the water and go ahead and spray it down with that. It'll clean as you're wiping it down.
Yeah.
And you keep all that road grime from getting back on it while you're headed back to the house,
Yeah.
where you might want to do a little more detail work on it or something like.
Exactly.
And you're talking about less than $9 a bottle.
Right.
That bottle will last you what?
At least a season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and literally you're going to have it all taken care of. And you know what?
Hey,
One of the things that people don't realize, and I have to preach this to my sons all the time, with what stuff costs these days,
especially a boat.
isn't it worth just a couple of extra minutes to take care of it?
Well,
I mean, you got a $70,000 investment in this.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it worth just a couple of extra minutes to see to it that it still stays new? And I'm going to tell you now, I'm bragging on Graf here, but I will say this. When you climb in Graf's boat, what year model's your boat?
09.
It's a 7-year-old boat. You don't know it's 7 years old. When you climb in that boat, I got to give him this. He takes care of his stuff.
That's right. I mean, I was raised that way. I don't care what it was. If it's yours and you own it, you take care of it.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's $70,000 investment now.
I just keep one 3 months and
Give it
That's
right. We're hooking up, tracking down 11:30 the Tiger right here at Toledo Town and Tackle. You come see. We're almost out of baseball caps. You better come get you
I
one.
got some more over here.
Hook it up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger.
Though you're gone, I can't forget. Right or wrong, I'll keep on dreaming. Still I wait.
Welcome back. This segment presented by Vicious Fishing Line, Daiwa Rods and Reels, and Natchitoches Power Sports, your Hustler Mowers and Can-Am headquarters for the Arklatex. Take it away, guys.
With the arrival of spring means it's time to go to Commercial Power Equipment and pick up a few things that'll make your yard work so much easier. Weed eaters, chainsaws, blowers to mowers. Commercial Power has the top name brands like Exmark, Shindaiwa, Echo, and Honda. So stop by and see Paul Sutherland and his great staff for a look at everything you'll need to have the best yard in your neighborhood. Commercial Power Equipment, helping you get the job done right.
Hey, thanks a lot for hanging out with us. We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger live today, Toledo Town and Tackle. If you've not heard, the BSS Elite Series is going to be on Toledo Bend the next 4 days. Competition in the morning, and they're going to be launching and weighing in at Cypress Bend. Is that not right?
That is correct.
Okay. Now they've brought again the big outdoor show and everything down there, so you can go down and take part in that and see some of the outdoor products.
They'll
and
have
stuff.
vendors. Everything will be there. I'm sure food booths. Everything will be set up. Fun tents for the kids and. Just a great event, family event.
All right, now you know one of the things before we take our bass IQ, I want to give you a little bit of bass insight. You know, when the Classic was held on the Red River, the first time the Classic was held on the Red River, we broke all the records. nobody had ever shown out like we showed out.
Exactly.
Nobody had ever turned out for the launches in the morning, the returns in the afternoon, the sheer volume of people that we had there for the outdoors show,
Right.
The weigh-ins, that kind of stuff. It was
Set records.
Exactly. And I'd love to be able to say that we do that again, and we really shine that light on the diamond that we call Toledo Bend. I'd like to see that, we. But another thing that we did, and I'm hoping that we will repeat with that. Another thing that we did was, and it may be because our area is so full of really good anglers, we gave these guys room to work.
We were very respectful.
Exactly. We were respectful of the
Yeah.
fact that an angler was out there and he's working. And
the anglers acknowledged that.
Sure they did.
On stage.
That's one of the things that I'm hoping that we will be able to continue is our reputation for being respectful of the fact that these guys are trying to make a living and that we give them plenty of room. Obviously, I mean, if you're there and Rick Clunn's catching 31 pounds of bass and you want to watch, you can do that. But there's a way to do that and a way not to do that.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
And the most important thing is Rick Clunn found those fish. If you want to fish them next week, fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Do not pull in there when he leaves to go the weigh-in.
He doesn't need your help catching those fish.
I mean, that is
I've seen that on the Red River.
Unbelievable that somebody would do that.
I just don't understand
Watch
people.
them all day, and the minute they leave to go the weigh-in, knowing they're going to come back tomorrow,
Right.
pull in there and start fishing.
Exactly.
If you're not good enough to find them, at least give them the courtesy to wait until the tournament's over.
You mentioned that last week, with our own competition, with people going out and just looking for somebody. Find your own fish. And you know what? I will say this. David Parker, who, in my estimation, was one of the 5 best anglers that ever lived in northwest Louisiana. David told me a long time ago, he said, I'll tell you exactly.
Along with the best person.
He said, I'll tell you exactly where I'm fishing. And I said, why do you do that, David? Why will you tell me exactly where you're fishing? He said, I'll tell you where I'm fishing, I'll tell you how deep I'm fishing, I'll tell you what I'm catching them on. And I said, why would you do that? Why would you divulge? Because my philosophy was always loose lips, sink ships. That's how people lose bass tournaments. And David says, my idea is this. I'm going to play to you as a sportsman, and I'm going to play to your integrity. And I'm hoping that if I tell you where I'm at and what I'm doing, that you'll try to find something exactly like that somewhere else, and you'll leave me the heck alone.
Yeah.
And you know what? You think about it. All the years David was fishing, how many people pulled up around and fished around David Parker?
Oh, yeah. Or fished through him.
He commanded that little bit of space. That's all and you know what? He had to. He was as slow and deliberate a fisherman as I ever saw in my life. Literally, he would tell me, he said, boy, throw that jig up beside the tree and smoke you a cigarette and then move it once.
Yeah.
I mean, that was his, and you know what? You can't do that when you've got people that are breathing down on you. And it could come down to that here on Toledo Bend with the Elite Series. It could come down to the fact that somebody's really got to slow down. If you saw what this father and son did with a almost 43-pound stringer with 5 fish, if you saw that, they were having to slow down, that if somebody's breathing on their neck, they've got a bunch of rubberneckers, that are truthfully just trying to learn something and watch some of the best. Well, they don't need that big crowd breathing on top of them.
I agree. And while we're talking about the Classic and other events, instead of doing Bass IQ, I want to go this route with this. Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas got the Classic for next year.
Yeah, and I'm still a little.
Your thoughts and opinions on it? I have one, and I'll tell you.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I think it's the worst place you could go.
Yeah.
Traffic in Houston, Texas, driving from Lake Conroe to get to the RG Center.
All right, now stop.
Are you kidding me?
Stop right there for just a second. Has Lake Conroe come back enough to be
the lake is not the issue.
No. At one point, when Zell Rowland and some of the guys were over there, Randy Fight and all of them were over there, they remembered the days when Conroe was unbelievable.
Conroe was great.
But when the carp were introduced, it just killed Conroe. Is Conroe a great body of water now? Is it classic? Is it classic worthy?
Definitely classic worthy.
Okay.
The problem is it's Houston, Texas. You know what traffic is like in Houston, Texas? Can you imagine driving from the lake to the RG Center, downtown Houston, to do the weigh-in?
Well, here's what you need to consider, in my estimation on that. Jerry McInnes went out on the thinnest of all limbs in the world.
He's treading thin
when
ice
he
with me.
purchased BASS.
Yeah.
Now, here's a man who has been around when there was very little money to be made, and he did very well, and he climbed the ladder, and in production of the television show and the other shows that he did over the years, he saw that what it takes to be able to make a good living off of this is to, A, be able to generate a product that people can see. It's got to be some type of a spectator sport in some regard. And then he also figured out, you know what? You got to have a crowd. You got to be able to play to the masses. And I honestly think that I'm going to tell you, though, that
logistics nightmare.
I'm going to tell you, though, there are times that you better be careful of what you wish for.
Yep.
And I think this is going to be one of those. I think this is going to be – he wanted a big crowd, and he will have access to those masses.
Here's the problem. I don't want to see it in Dallas. I don't want to see it in Houston. I don't even want to see it in New Orleans.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it in those big major cities because it gets lost in the shuffle of what's going on. Shreveport, it is the event for us.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing else bigger. Birmingham.
Can you go too small, though? What if you did it in Manny?
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Manny, it might be second on the list. Depends on what's showing at the movie theater.
What do you think, Mike?
I think that y'all are looking at it from a fisherman's standpoint.
I'm looking at it from a logistics standpoint.
Well,
people getting there
again,
and
though,
enjoying the event.
Mike's going to bring his point, which is very valid to this. In that, this is still it's a money making. This is a business.
It is a business that has to be run like a business. It's also a business that has been in years, been in business, existed for 40-something years, and they plan on it being operational for another 40 or 50 years.
Right.
So that's the big picture that they're. I'm not sitting here saying it's a good idea.
Right,
I question it also, but from their standpoint, there's only so many places in the country you can go.
Yeah.
And you don't want to come back to Shreveport 4 or 5 times.
Do you think they're having trouble finding places to go that will put the money up?
Absolutely.
I think that's
absolutely.
Oh,
Houston's a bigger market. They
Yeah.
got the money to do this.
And when you pick a tournament, I've tried to tell people this all along, even on what we do on such a small scale locally, logistics is 90% of it.
Yeah.
I don't, it's not that I don't care, but whether you catch a bunch of fish or not doesn't factor into where I hold a tournament.
Yeah. Let me ask you all this.
It's where I can have it in comparison.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree on that one particular issue in that, they've been to the Arkansas River before, and they got burned. But what did it take, like 9 pounds to win the whole classic?
No, that
that's
wasn't Arkansas River. That was
Pennsylvania.
up Mississippi River
That's
up in
Pennsylvania.
Illinois.
Okay.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
George
Pennsylvania.
Cochran won it. It was like stupid.
Van Dam
No.
won one 7
Van
or 8
Dam
days.
won that one up there.
Okay. All right.
The one on Arkansas Rivers have always been pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, there was one I want to say that literally. I mean, I don't think there was ever a limit of fish
It was
caught.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Okay. That was Allegheny River, wasn't it?
No, Mississippi.
No,
Okay, the Mississippi.
River, yeah.
Man, I'm just going to keep being wrong.
Okay.
I've
That's
started.
okay.
I've started
That's
a wave. I want to keep it going. The long and short of it. Did they go back there? Did the anglers have? Did the anglers have any input in that?
I'm sure they did to a degree. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, guys, where would
But
you like?
that was a year they didn't have to go to Red River,
Birmingham.
yeah, something like that. You got to throw in the oddball places occasionally.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, it wasn't.
I think
according to the anglers, it wasn't the lack that they didn't catch a lot of fish.
Yeah.
That just made it even for everybody.
Yeah.
It just made a 1 pounder more valuable.
It
than
is
a 4 pounder.
categorically. It is the location for the Classic is 99.9% a business decision.
No
Okay,
doubt.
now
I agree.
here's another thought. On the angler side of it, would you ever hold the Classic on a slot lake?
No,
I wouldn't.
because it would wreck the TV end of it.
Oh,
No.
wow. Yeah.
See,
Is that not what drives that business model? Is what can we catch on TV?
Yes.
I think that what McInnes is trying to do is he's got to reinvent what we've envisioned is a classic.
Yeah.
And, you know, of all the places in the world, you know, I mean, you want to fish in a pond where there's a lot of fish, you might as well fish in that Houston pond where you got a lot of viewers.
See, I think if they come back to Shreveport, it ain't going to Red River probably.
Really?
No, I think they're coming to Toledo Bend the next time they go. It's an hour and 10 minutes from Tulsa to Grand Lake. We're an hour and 10 minutes from Shreveport to Toledo Bend.
Yeah, but not from Cypress Bend.
Well, no, not from Cypress Bend necessarily, but you could go.
I can't imagine them
San
launching
Miguel,
at Converse.
Or you could even go to Sam Rayburn and have the weigh-in in Beaumont.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that could work.
That might be a
That
huge
would work.
if Beaumont can come up with the money. Because what is it?
Right.
You got to put up $1 million?
I don't know. That's I think their issue. I think that's their issue right now.
You know, and you never know. Houston may have put up enough money that they can afford police escort to eliminate that.
They're going to have to.
You know,
I mean, it's brutal.
You know,
well,
one thing about it, nobody, as smart as we think we are, there's nobody here sitting at this table can outthink the people that are putting the Classic on for the reason they're putting it on.
Exactly.
We just can't
I
do
don't
it.
know why they haven't called us and got our opinion.
Well, I meant to tell you, Jerry called. I told him you were fishing. You'd get back with him.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
No, you told him that Graff didn't think it was a good idea, so he went ahead and set the deal up.
Hey, we're in Toledo Town and Tackle. Come hang out with us. Hook it up, track it down. 11:30, the Tiger.
Once again, you're listening to the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show, presented by Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, Toledo Town and Tackle, Gamakatsu Hooks, and Bob Seeley Outdoors, home of the Seeley Big Bass Splash Series. Now back to more Hooking Up and Tracking Down with Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and Steve Graff.
Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger. Going to be here until 1 o'clock at Toledo Town and Tackle, getting ready for the big Elite Series this weekend. Here in just a minute, our Gamakatsu question of the day right after Natchitoches Ford Lincoln.
From the best-selling trucks in America to the greatest muscle car ever, the Ford Mustang, Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, and the Braxton family want to invite you to stop and see their awesome selection of both new and pre-owned vehicles. Natchitoches Ford, the oldest dealership in Louisiana, has folks coming from all over the Arklatex for the best deals and the greatest selection. Natchitoches Ford Lincoln, making your car buying experience enjoyable.
You see who just walked in?
I saw it, big sucker.
I'm telling you right
Guess who else sitting over
Bob Seeley just walked in.
there? Al Druitt sitting right over there.
I didn't see Al.
Toledo Fiberglass.
Yeah.
He's being served right now.
See, we are in the spot. Some of the anglers starting to come off the water right now. I'm assuming that maybe it's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Fish are taking a break.
Right.
They might as well take a
Guys,
break.
Yeah.
some of the anglers coming off the water.
Someone may be changing.
In the event that you're wondering what in the world we're doing at Toledo Town and Tackle, the Elite Series is here Thursday through Sunday. And you know what? We were talking a little while ago. When Jerry McKinnis calls us next and tells us, or asks our opinion on where he's going to hold the Classic, he did say when I had him on the phone that if we would write that check, for a couple $1 million,
we can decide.
Yeah, it would be the hooking up and tracking down Bassmaster Classic, and we tell him where to fish.
We'll get Bob Seeley to fund this.
Yeah.
Now, Bob,
see, Bob, we got our jar up here. Bob Seeley's going to make the first donation to that.
Now, Bob, we're getting your best side right now. Just let you know that.
Okay. It's our Gamma Got To question of the day today. Bob Seeley, you know what? I'm going to ask you first.
Yeah.
Who is the favorite to win the Elite Series Toledo Bend event this week? I'm gonna let you. Hang on. Just talk in the microphone there. You don't need the headphones. Just talk in the microphone. You got it.
Who do I predict?
Yeah. Who's gonna win?
The last time that Bass was here, Mike Iaconelli made a huge splurge on the second day. Not this. You have got 100+. 100 probably the best elite guys in the world.
Right.
And with the way that Toledo Bend is right now, the way the fishing is, the lunkers and stuff, let me tell you, I wouldn't bet on any one particular person because anybody can pull.
You know what? That's a really good
out.
point because these guys are here.
They're the best there is.
These guys are here for a reason.
That's
it's
right.
Because Toledo Bend is still number one. I mean, it's the crown jewel of the nation's bass fisheries. And we're getting ready for your tournament, not this weekend, but next week.
That's correct.
And, so you're going to do something with some of the anglers, some of the Elite Series anglers at the Big Bass Splash next week. They're going to have their own little tournament amongst those girls.
No, that's in October.
Oh, that's in October. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, we're going to have our own pro Big Bass event.
Okay,
Which we'll discuss that. But getting back to this, I don't, Mike, do you have a favorite?
No, I don't. I don't even know who all's in it. But if I had to pick somebody, I would sit down and take the list, and I would research who is the best deep water fisherman.
You think
I really think
the pattern?
that's how it's going to play out.
I'm going to say that maybe you're about 50% right. I think you could be a little more. I don't count out Rick Klung because of the crankbait.
Yeah.
And because I know the fish have been caught on a crankbait, pretty good, a lot of good fish.
Really?
Well, we had a 12-something at Rayburn caught on a crankbait.
All right, a question for you, Bob. Have you been fishing? Here.
I wish you hadn't asked that.
Come on. Have you been?
I haven't. I won't.
Okay.
No, I haven't.
Graf was saying earlier that there's still some fish in the bushes here.
Well, the lake's up.
Yeah.
The only thing about it is they're drawing water.
Yeah.
All right. There are some deep brush. When I say deep, I'm talking about 8, 10. That's shallow brush at normal pool.
Right.
But this lake is not normal pool.
Right.
And they can pull this lake, but they're not going to affect a lot of the 8 to 12 brush tops.
Yeah.
Main lake points, secondary points.
Right.
I just don't think it'll affect it.
Mm-hmm.
And if the guy gets in the right bush.
So you're not going to put a name on this? You will not?
I really can't.
Okay.
And I wouldn't dare in the simple reason because you've got 100 of the best guys there is.
Okay. Then give me an idea. Will it take 20 pounds a day? Will it take 80 pounds to win?
I think you'll see a bass break a record with 100 pounds here.
Do you really?
Yes, sir.
The fish are biting that good.
If you think about it, last weekend, they had 2 over 30-pound streamers.
Yeah.
I think you got good enough talent here
that
these guys have enough spots. With the right quality fish, they could put 30-plus pound stringers maybe 2 days in a row.
Okay, now, Bob,
it's going to definitely take over 20 pounds.
With next weekend, a lot of people might be coming down right now to be able to watch some of these guys fish and see what's going on, and and maybe just get some ideas for what they could do next weekend when they're in the Big Bass Splash.
Oh yeah.
All right, now, do you think that information that they glean from just being here, supporting this weekend, do you think that the tournament the pattern will hold between this weekend and the following weekend?
I haven't seen any major fronts that could disrupt the next 10 days.
Okay, so right now would be a good time to practice.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, you don't want to do it the week during.
Right.
Just prior
You don't want
to
to get
the
in their way.
No, but this week I think you'll do more looking. You'll see more of these guys, what type of structure they're fishing.
Yeah.
Maybe locations. One thing, structure probably is going to be the most important part.
Yeah.
These guys are going to focus on what they're throwing.
Right.
Right. Don't count out Dean Rojas with a frog bite.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, have you seen fall weather in May like this?
We just talked about that.
Water
How many times in
temperature-
May do you have to wear
No,
a jacket?
That's
Yeah.
right. But water temperature, perfect for frog bites.
Wow.
Rojas could be a contender. He's a contender regardless.
Yeah.
But that frog bite could be. I don't know if he can do it 4
I
days in a
still
row.
think it's going to be one deep, and I think the people that are watching the deep anglers are the ones that will have something the following week for your tournament.
I'm because those fish are not going to be
Right.
disturbed. They're
All
really
right, if
not.
I want to enter Big Bass Splash, what do I need to do?
Well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here at the Bassmaster Elite, I just brought my registration trailer in.
Uh-huh.
We're going to be here all
Are
4
you
days.
at Cypress Bend?
We're at Cypress Bend.
Okay.
Matter of fact, when you come down to the pavilion area, the first thing you're going to see is my registration trailer. If they want to register, pick up packets. If they pre-register, go ahead and pick up.
Can I
the
buy my
packets.
shirt then? All
Yes,
that?
sir. You do it all.
Okay.
The next 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday here.
Okay.
We'll be doing that.
I just
And of
hand you
course,
my
we'll be
wallet,
back
and you
next-
tell me what I got left? Is that the way it works?
No, you got coupons.
Coupons.
Something like that. But anyway, no, I tell you what, this Bassmaster Elite will beat every elite that they've ever had here before.
Really?
As far as pound-wise.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so give me a prediction
I'm saying
of
90
what.
plus pounds. Minimum of 90 pounds will win.
Give
this
me a
event.
prediction of what it'll take to win the Big Bass Splash.
I think we'll see 1 over 11.
Wow.
Very
Oh,
easy.
yeah.
I think we're going to see more than one. I think we'll see. I think the top 5 will all be double digits,
Wow.
and I think you're going to see 1 over 11, possibly a 12.
Okay, now because we're paying 15 places an hour,
Yeah.
do you think if I catch a 6-pounder, I win some money?
You better get the bonus card. That pays 2 extra places. on the hours. No, I think we're going to look at a 6.5 pound, 6 to 6.5 pound to get the money.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I think so. There's so many 7, 8, 9 pound fish out here right now.
All right, now I'm going to ask you one other question. I'm Bob Seeley. I'm fishing the Elite Series tournament this week. Am I north of the Pendleton Bridge or am I south of the Pendleton Bridge?
South.
Okay. Am I really south or just south?
Split the difference between the dam and the bridge.
Okay. So you're not fishing far from Cypress Bend somewhere along in there, huh?
I'm not.
I
saying
wouldn't say the Indian Mounds
I'm
or.
not saying that I could see it,
Yeah.
but I ain't
You wouldn't be too far south of Tennessee Bay.
like. Heard a fin and feather on the Texas side.
That's
right?
what I heard.
Yeah, it ain't
You know,
too far.
I don't know if you come from.
A fog delay wouldn't hurt you.
Yeah, exactly. No.
No. But you know what? I've seen guys drop shot down by the dam catching some extra weights.
Really?
Oh gosh, yes.
Huh?
I'm talking about now. When we say deep,
Yeah.
I was figuring 18 to 24.
Yeah.
Your deep is what? Same?
Oh,
Four.
my
Four to
deep,
six.
my deep
4 to
is
6.
4 to 5 foot.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
my deep.
Yeah.
But I'm
Really?
not
Yeah.
on Toledo.
Hey, you know, we're Caddo Lake boys.
Oh, well, that's Cypress Street.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
understand.
That's not
Yeah.
real fish.
Here, I think the magic number is going to be between 12 and 18 foot. That's the reason why I brought up the crankbait, because you got that's right. The 6XD, the 6XD, all the way up to the 10XD.
That's the 8 right there.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm
bad
gonna tell you
boy.
what. When our last segment, I'm gonna get Graf to pull up because he's a computer guru. Pull up the list of the elite anglers. Let's see who's fishing it, and let's
Let's come
all
up with
three
a
of us,
real
yeah.
winner.
Yeah.
Who's going to win this thing?
Well, I'm just.
Are you starting the pool? Do we give you our money?
No, I'm
Oh.
not starting the pool. I'll get in. That won't be a problem.
All right, now
But,
how much do I owe you if I'm going to fish next week?
About all 3 days?
Yeah, all 3 days.
Everything
I'm
included.
fishing all 3 days.
285.
285, and we're signed, sealed, and delivered, ready
That's
to go.
right.
Okay, now, if I can't get down here this week
Okay.
to register,
You'll be able to register next week,
okay,
the day before the tournament, Thursday, 10 a.m. to
here at Toledo Town or at Cypress Bend? Okay,
Cypress Bend,
all right.
10 to 8.
So I can come by there. Now,
Or
what
5
if
o'clock.
what if I can't fish Friday?
You
I
can
just want to fish Saturday, Sunday.
Okay, that's fine. That's 2-day entry, which is It's been 2:35.
2:35.
A little less than 3.
Yeah.
It's less.
And I can just show up there at Cypress Bend and come register.
5 a.m. in the morning.
Okay, now what if I'm not a fisherman? What if I just want to come see big fish?
Doesn't cost you a thing.
Really?
No, it's free.
I just walk right in?
You bet. Have at it. Come on.
And you stand a
put on
chance
the
of
show.
winning something.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, we have an open drawing Sunday.
Yeah.
Between all spectators stuff.
Yeah.
You give cash for it.
Yeah.
Just got to be present to win. No purchase necessary.
So wait a minute. I walked in for nothing, and
Yeah.
you might give me something
Oh,
just
yeah.
for walking in
Well,
for nothing?
certainly. Yeah.
Get out of here.
But you got to be pregnant.
You got to be
That's what he said.
Present. I'm sorry.
present
Oh.
to win
Oh.
Sunday afternoon because we put on the show.
Have you seen Graf? We thought he was pregnant.
I'm not going there.
But it turned out it was Mexican cornbread.
Hard or
Well,
gas.
Hey, let me tell you, Tony Sashbury the third is here. You realize that?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, that boy can cook.
Dude, and he can fish.
Oh, yeah, he's a good fisher.
He is
I'm
rich.
just back on the elite.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's fishing the opens to qualify. So I'll be
Oh, yeah.
anyway.
Bob Seeley's
I don't
here.
mean, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
but
no,
thank
no.
you very
Yes,
much.
you
I just
did.
No, I came by to get a
You
cup
came
of
by
coffee
to buy our
together.
lunch.
I can handle
I
that.
know that. What about yours?
Let me
Hey,
have a pizza, please.
If you have not registered, you can do it online at SeeleyOutdoors.com
Till Sunday night.
till this Sunday night.
Yeah.
Or you can just drive down here. You want to watch these Elite Series
Oh,
pros
please do.
weigh in anyway.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This week, starting tomorrow
Yeah.
through Sunday, we'll be doing registration.
And just
at
remember,
Cypress
it was Bob Seeley who said that Mike Iaconelli is going to win this tournament.
I don't count him out, but I wouldn't count Dean Rojas out,
There you go.
and I wouldn't count.
It depends on whether it's the frog bite or not.
No, I'm telling you,
The frog bite's on.
bite. That's my belief.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we just don't get weather like this in May.
Right.
This is crazy. I'm out of here. Goodbye.
All right, dude. Hooking up and tracking down 11:30, the Tiger.
Elvira. Elvira.
Welcome back to the final segment presented by Louisiana Charter Boats, Cypress Knee Outdoors, and Toledo Fiberglass, the #1 boat restoration and fiberglass repair shop in the Arklatex. One more time, here's Steve, Gary, and the one and only Mike Eccles.
Hey, thanks a lot for hanging out with us and all the people that have stopped by to visit with us. Bob Seeley, I saw John Dean a few minutes ago.
Gerald Swindle just walked in.
Gerald Swindle just walked in. Who else did we...
I tried to get Gerald to come
Al
on, but
Druid.
his wife, Leanne's, waiting on him in the truck.
She said, go in there and get me some cupcakes right now and don't be in the...
She was actually driving the truck in the boat.
Yeah,
So
well, that's a smart woman.
yeah, I'm telling you.
She needs to teach all the others.
We should have got Leanne in here. I said we should have got in here.
Okay, here in a minute, a little bit more as to what's coming up in the area. First, though, the best times to fish.
Here's your Bob City Big Bass Splash best times to fish. This weekend is rated as very poor, with high temperatures in the 80s and lows in the mid-60s, and a slight chance of rain Friday and Saturday. Moon illumination increasing each night from 42 to 63%. Prime times this weekend, early morning. Friday, 5:45 to 8:45 a.m. Sunrise 6:16, sunset 8:01. Days are getting longer, folks. Saturday, 6:35 to 9:35 a.m. Sunrise 6:16, sunset 8:01, and Sunday, 7:20 to 10:20 a.m. with sunrise at 6:15, sunset at 8:02.
Okay, question. Says poor.
Poor.
Does that...
Not poor, very poor.
Does that guarantee that these anglers will have a tougher time catching them this weekend than they would if it said excellent?
I don't think so. These guys are just that good. I think they know how to figure them out. They do this for a living.
What do you think, Eggle?
They're going to catch them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to lean towards, I don't think it'll take 100, but somebody guessed the other day 75 to 80.
Yeah.
That was Tommy Martin.
I'm really going to guess 85 to 90 pounds.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm thinking 80 to 83.
80 to 83. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sit right there in that. I'm gonna say, just to go out on a limb and be different than y'all, I'll say 95 to 100.
Yeah.
You know, hey, think about this now. Okay, 24-pound string, 4 days is 96 pounds.
Yeah.
You
You're
know.
good at math.
Okay, we got a number of events coming up that we need you to take part in. Obviously, first and foremost, register tomorrow through Sunday for the Bob Seeley Big Bass Splash, which is next weekend here on Toledo Bend.
Yeah.
You can get registered at the Elite Series at Cypress Bend. Bob said the trailer's going to be set up all 4 days. You can do that. If you can't get down here, jump online before Sunday at SeeleyOutdoors.com and get registered for that, and then plan to join us all down here next weekend for that.
Exactly. Also, the second annual Fallen Officers Tournament. This is direct from Harry Watson. He is the director of this event. That was scheduled for May 28th and 29th, has been postponed till October. The dates will be announced at a later date.
I mean, that's 2 years in a row.
Yep, by Harry Watson.
Yeah.
So just going to wait and see what the river does in October.
Wow.
H&W Tournament Trail, Bistineau is rescheduled for June the 11th. That's a month away. Elite Series, of course, is this weekend, May 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th out of Cypress Bend Park. And, folks, we do strongly invite you to come out. The Arklatex needs to show out here with a great turnout for this event and support this event. This is one of the reasons that they come here is due to support. And again, as you already alluded to, Bob Seeley next weekend as well. And also, again, we'll make one more announcement again. Fisher Cement National Tournament Trail, the national championship for 2017 will be held on Red River out of Natchitoches, April 6th, 7th, and 8th of 2017. Expect 180 to 200 teams from across the country will converge on Natchitoches for this 3-day event. Congratulations to the city of Natchitoches for landing that event. So, anyway.
And the Landers Ram Boss Tournament Trail Championship, June 4th and 5th on Lake Bistineau. Keep in mind, anglers, you need to go by and register. You need to go by and get entered in it. Remember the 5-day off limits, Monday through Friday before the tournament. You cannot be on the water, either one of a team member, and you cannot receive information during that time period from anybody who is not a participant in the tournament.
The rule C3.
That's fishing during that time period.
Yeah.
Now, question for you on that. Is there a time period, is there a cutoff day to get registered for the championship?
Not in print. I want but that doesn't matter. I'm the boss. By God, you got a month to get by there and register. Don't wait until the day before.
Y'all see who just walked in? My buddy Maurice Jackson's here.
Maurice Jackson.
I got a
legend of Toledo Bean.
I'm telling you, that's one of the
crappie
finest.
guide extraordinaire.
That's one of the finest men you'll ever know right there.
He said he throws rocks at bass now. He doesn't even fish for them anymore.
Hey, listen, there's another tournament that just came up, a friend of ours. I'm hoping that they'll have a good turnout for this, in spite of the fact that, we're going to be fishing the Boss Championship tournament that weekend. It's going to be June the 4th on Caddo Lake. This one, to the best of my knowledge, is a fundraiser for one of the local churches. I want to say it's maybe Elysian Fields, Texas, somewhere along in there, but they're going to do this on Caddo Lake. They have guaranteed $1,500 for first place. Entry fee is $80 per boat, two-person teams. I'm going to get all that information up on the website here before long, and they will actually allow you to enter by going online. You can charge it on your credit card in the same way that we do with Boss. And but again, that's Caddo Lake, the 6th annual. Oh, it's McLeod. 6th annual McLeod Tabernacle Church Caddo Lake Bass Tournament, June 4th. They're going to hold that out of Drift in Mooringsport, 5-fish tournament.
Wow. I may go fish that and just be at the weigh-in by on time. I can beat Bistineau an hour.
Amen. Amen.
That sounds like a good time right there.
Okay, now with the Boss Championship coming up, explain a couple of things for those who are like me, idiots. When you say that the lake is off limits, you can't receive information or anything along those lines. What if you heard something on the radio? That's public information.
Right.
If you saw something online, if you saw a video, that's public information, correct? If you think in your heart you've broken the rule, you're going to probably fail that polygraph, aren't you?
If you think that there is something happened in between, the best thing to do always is contact the tournament director, explain the issue beforehand.
Yeah.
Don't wait.
Yeah. I was standing in Toledo Town and Tackle, and I overheard 3 guys standing around the rattle trap bin, and they said this, if I fish with a rattle trap, do I violate the rule?
Yeah.
Okay. So in essence, do you generally not have an issue with that regard?
No, we don't.
Okay, yeah.
Your big issues, I think, are with the major tournaments where they go in from out of town. And I'll be honest, I think the majority of the time, these anglers have put themselves in the position to get this information.
Oh,
no doubt.
Yeah.
They put themselves in the position to hear something.
Well, everybody wants to think, I'm the one who put Kevin Van Dam on the fish.
Oh, yeah.
That he won the tournament. Because when Kevin Van Dam wins the tournament, well, it was, easily me. It was all because of me.
The problem with that is if you do, and I'm being honest, and I'm speaking from some experience and seeing it, you're getting zero recognition out of it.
Exactly.
So why worry about it?
Right,
Exactly. Real quick, we want to recognize, too, Al Drew at Toledo Fiberglass. He's a very busy man over here at Toledo Bend. I want to thank Al for stopping by, said hello a while ago, and you just had him a good burger from over here at Kurt Carver's. So thank you, Al, for your support.
And thanks again to Kurt and all the staff here at Toledo Town and Tackle.
No doubt.
Kurt, Mr. Glenn, all this gang for allowing us to come hang out in their store.
If you ever just want to have a deep conversation about history of bass fishing, go sit down with Mr. Glenn Carver.
Golly.
I had the privilege of doing that about 2 months ago over here for lunch.
Yeah.
Dude, the knowledge and information on that man, I told him, I said, Mr., why ain't you written a book?
Yeah.
You need to write a book.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
Well, it's time for us to wrap things up, and thanks again for allowing us your afternoon today.
Is it my turn?
Sure, turn.
All right. This is my third. There's not many times we get the opportunity to see an Elite Series right here in our own backyard. That's why it's so important that the fans turn out for the weigh-in. A big turnout by the fans is just one of the things that BASS and FLW look at when deciding what lakes they will go to. Also, these high-level events come with a price, and it takes a lot of people and money to bring these events to Toledo Bend. While several people are involved, there's one person who's had a major impact on landing these events, Linda Curtis Sparks of Toledo Bend Lake Association. It's through her hard work and dedication and commitment to the Toledo Bend community that encourages BASS and FLW to bring their top circuits to this area. So the next time you see Linda, tell her thank you for being the best ambassador Toledo Bend could ever ask for. Till next week, stay safe and may God bless till we meet again with more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.